Hello everyone, it is a beautiful sunshiny day. Spring is in the air and I am out here beside the road. I have found a wild edible on the side of the road and I want to show it to you. Okay, here it is. This is what I have found. Can anybody guess what this is? This is one of the first trees that will bloom out in February, March, and we are in the first few days of March, and I was headed to church. Carla and I were headed to church here just a few days ago, and I saw these, and I said, Carla, look at this. This is wild plums. These are wild plum trees that are blooming right there. And like I said, they are one of the first trees that will bloom out when things start budding, when it warms up a little bit. So I told Carla that I was going to stop back by here and I was going to mark these trees with some ribbons. And here it is right here. I've got a ribbon right here on this tree so that I will be able to see these trees, because after the blooms fall off, it's going to be hard to spot the trees. So I will be able to spot the trees with the blue ribbons tied on them. I've got several blue ribbons tied on them. And then I will be able to come back and pick the fruit when the fruit is ripe. I've also dug up a few of the small saplings. I've got them right here on the ground. And I'm going to take these out to the house. I'm going to transplant them. And that way I will actually have some wild plum trees growing out on my land. And while these are maturing right here and will make fruit maybe in a couple of years, I can still come right here and pick fruit right here. I'm out in the woods here at the old home place, and I'm in an area where there are a lot of pine trees. Let me kind of turn this where you can see. And so there is a lot of pine straw on the ground. And I'm going to need some pine straw for mulching around the wild plum trees that I'm going to transplant. So I just wanted to show you how and where I get my pine straw from. Now I know some people have to buy their pine straw from Lowe's or something like that, maybe because you live in the city and you don't have land to get your pine straw off of, or you live in a region of the country that doesn't grow pine trees. So you have to go to the store and get yours. But I'm real thankful that we have all these pine trees right here, and pine straw is free here where I live. So let me show you how I'm gonna get this. I've got my wagon here. This is just my utility wagon. And then I've got a rake here. I just rake it up. Rake me a pile of pine straw up. Then I can just pick it up and put it over in my wagon. And I just repeat that until I have as much pine straw as I want. All right, there's my wagon full of pine straw. We're fixing to head back to the house so that we can put these plum trees in the ground. And it only took me just a very few minutes to rake up this wagon full of pine straw, because pine straw is such a thick carpet on the ground out here in the woods, where years and years of pine straw has just fallen and built up. All right, I'm here in my backyard, and I've got a hole dug where I'm going to plant these plum trees. Right here, I dug a hole. I got all the grass up, and I shook all of the dirt out of the grass back down into the hole. Then I've got my grass, or my dirt up around the sides of the hole here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this pine straw and put it down in the hole. This will be some mulch actually down in the hole. And then I will put my little trees on top of it, and I will cover them up. Got 4 little trees. I'm just going to plant them all here in the same hole together. They kind of grow in groups and bunches anyway, so I'm just going to put them all in one hole. See if I can get them positioned here like I want them to be. All right, this is what we're going to do right here. Just going to start covering this up. Now these little wild plum trees, they should be very hardy because they're just growing out in the wild, and they've had to learn how to adapt and flourish in their environment. So they've not had anybody watering them or cultivating them or anything like that. So I would expect them to be hardy and just to thrive on their own because that's what they've been doing out in the wild. Okay, I think that's got them pretty much covered up here. Just kind of pat this dirt in place. We're going to put some water on them. Got a bucket with water right here. And then I'm going to mulch around them with some pine straw. These little wild plum trees, they're not going to know what happened to them. They're going to be like, what is all of this? Water and mulch. So they ought to just flourish and do very well. I'm planting these over in an area that Carla and I have designated for our fruit trees. So we have over here, we've got our elderberry planted right over there, and we've got blueberry trees back behind us, and we've got some scuppernong and muscadine vines back there, plus we've got some satsumas, and then on over a little ways we've got our big fig tree. So this is kind of our designated area for our fruit trees.